Alright, I'm John Power and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Well, Liverpool wins 6-1 against Brighton and Hove Albion at Anfield in the FA Cup. Let's get stuck straight into some Facebook comments. So I mean, before we do though, I have to say welcome to the studio, Mr. Michael Atkinson.
Hello, boys. _Axter.
Yeah, totally the most special guest we've had on the studio.
Thanks very much.
Long-term viewers of the show will recognise Mike, but he's not been on this season, so we've dragged him on. He doesn't want to be here, but he's here.
Time from injury.
Owen Hargreaves. He was, in fact, he was on subscribers. Well, no, we'll put the Owen Hargreaves video up, so non-subscribers will see shortly. Anyway, Christoph.
Yes, Martin Torpy on the Facebook comments. Rainer 10, Enrique 10, Skirtle 10, Cara 10, Johnson 10. This is getting a bit boring now.
Yeah.
Gerard 10,
Gerard
10, Darwin 10, Henderson 10, Suarez 10, and Andy Carroll
10.
12.
12. Interesting.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, okay. Mike, what have you got?
Scott Howard, he says, here a boss, there a boss, everywhere a boss, except Hendo, who was shite first half. Hilarious own goals, but a deserved scoreline, sorry. We showed Tottenham and Chelsea how to do it.
I think we did though, didn't we? Yeah, that's a fair comment.
I think it was a bit harsh on Hendo, to be honest with you.
To be honest, I think Jordan Henderson, you know, and to be honest, if you were sat around sort of row 16, 17, 18 and so on at the centenary stand around seat 94, 95, you will have heard someone Henderson bashing from minute 1 to minute 90, despite the fact that we went on to comfortably win with his involvement. I'm not keen on it. He didn't have a particularly great game, but he didn't have a bad game. We'll come to that. We'll come to that anyway. Sean O'Brien says Gerrard, Carroll and Suarez all start together for the first time and we hit them for 6 with both Carroll and Luis on the score sheet. All aboard the Wembley bus. You'll never walk alone.
Get in.
Yes. Oh yes.
Followed by Lime Ed. Didn't think we played as good as 6-1 sounds. Still a good game for us. Nice to see Andy and Stuart getting good games. I think Anna was poor again and Hendo had a shock.
I don't get this Hendo bashing.
Hendo bashing.
Mo Al-Zabadi, I hope I've said that right, Mo. Everyone played class. Best team performance so far. I'm still convinced Brighton's defenders were playing rugby. You'll never walk alone. Maybe
it's a southern thing. Union. It'll have been Union if they were playing down south, wouldn't it? Matt Smith. Downing wasn't shite for once. Carroll was a tank. And bridcutt, what a player, comes to Anfield and scores twice. In his own net. Thanks very much for that, Matt. Brilliant.
Genius. So we'll round up with Sky Sports' Jafe Stelling. I know it was Brighton, but
Jafe.
painful.
Jaff. Yeah. Some serious Jafing going on there.
Oh, well, I don't want to go there. I know it was Brighton, but finally we've won a game by an exceptional margin. And finally Downing gets his assist. It's a great day all round.
Brilliant.
You'll never walk alone.
Mike, is that have you had your last one?
That's it, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to read one more. Because Fahad, because I've only read one, because you read first. And we'll read 2 each. Let's be fair. Fahad Aloon, we fuck the shit out of them. Let's get to both finals now, and the 2 trophies we miss.
Yeah. Probably should have read it before you'd read it live.
Faded a little bit there, Fahad. It was boss the first line, really had me inspired. The last line, not so much. Anyway, 6-1, but it's a shame that we come out of the game, we've just won 6-1, Mike. And it's a good result, but it's not like it's the best thing we've ever seen, is it?
No, I'd just like to say before I talk about the game, how proud I am of Chris getting his clothes back on so quickly.
Fuck off, you fella. And that's your last appearance on the Redmen TV.
Yeah. For those who watched at home, there was you might not have seen this. There was a tremendous streak. It come out of a similar sort of part of the cop that Chris sits in. So
it was quite well endowed, though, wasn't it?
Chris was sitting in front of me, and all of a sudden he was on the pitch. That's the other. full vision. But yeah,
but let's talk of the real
Hang on a
performance.
minute, let me retort. Pink eye.
Anyway,
Come on, show the camera your eye.
you can see his eye. His eye's not very well. He's done very well. He's done very well to come on.
He's got a
despite the
magic
fact
tongue and now his wife's square.
that he's got one eye. Anyway, like yeah, it was by no means the classic Liverpool performance.
no, I think we talked about it before, didn't we, on the way back? It's hard to get excited when you beat Brighton 6-1, but on the other side of that, you can only beat what's in front of you. And I think second half we played very well, very professional job, and all right, Brighton helped us a bit with a few of the own goals, but
Just a bit.
yeah, it was nice to see.
Of the goal, but yeah.
It was nice to see the players linking up. There was, as I say, you can only beat what's in front of you. The lads seemed to have second half that whatever Kenny said at half time seemed to work because we came out and went for them.
Well, first half, Chris, the big problem. Right there, what are you going to do with that one? I nearly went Willage there on the side of the gate. The thing is, first half, we got the goal very early on, but we never sort of pressed our advantage. I think we slacked off after we got the first goal.
Yeah, we did, and so did the crowd, though, in fairness. We all thought at 1-0, 5 minutes in, this is going to be like 8-0, 9-0. And then we just slacked off, didn't we? And then they got the goal. It was probably good for us that they got the goal.
I think what we forgot from when we played Brighton earlier in the season, now Brighton are a very good footballing side. Gus Poyet has clearly got a good ethos with him. That he gets the ball down, he plays football. And for Championship sides, there's not a lot of them that actually do that.
It was pretty much them and Blackpool, as far as I see it.
Well, they're the teams that a lot of those teams tend to come up from the Championship because like West Brom did it coming up. Obviously Blackpool, as you say,
Redmen did it 5-6 years ago.
Precisely, like teams like that. But as we said in the match build-up, they play into our hands with stuff like that. Now, performance-wise, who impressed you, Mike?
It's hard to say. I thought Martin Scale again. He's outstanding. He's
Given he was put on the left side of the centre back
season for me. He's just been outstanding. Nothing gets past him. He doesn't look phased, and every tackle he seems to win seems to start an attack with the touch that is his tackle. You know what I mean?
He's not just putting it out for a throw-in anymore. Like
he sets things rolling. I thought. I'd pulled my hands up. I've probably been bashing down in a bit recently over the past couple of weeks.
Hey, and rightly so.
But we thought he had a decent game today, and obviously it's the first goal we scored from one of his crosses this season.
Monkey off the proverbial back.
I think so, yeah. I thought Glenn Johnson handled the left winger very well because he was a tricky customer and he scored a good goal, didn't he? From right. He seemed to hold in well, and Louis as well. I think Louis had a point to prove, didn't he? He got down and played football.
I thought Stevie played brilliantly today. He controlled the game, not at high tempo per se, but I think he did control the game. I think it was 60% shooting accuracy on the day. He had 5 shots, so I thought he was pretty good.
To be honest, I think of the midfield partnership, as it were, I noticed in the first half we started, it wasn't a 4-4-2, but it ended up being a 4-4-2. It was almost Henderson was behind the two front men of Carroll and Suarez in the first half. How it changed, and Adam and Gerrard did a very good job of dropping, and Gerrard played a lot deeper than we'd like him to play, but I thought Charlie Adam benefited from that because I thought Charlie Adam actually had a decent game. I don't think he had a great game, but he had what we've said has been missing. He had that much vaunted 7 out of 10 game today, which he hasn't had in his game so far. He was very decent,
middle of the road.
Well, yeah, and I think that's fine sometimes. And I think, to be honest, I think on the whole, the team, I thought Jamie Carragher did very well coming in because he doesn't play many games. He come in and did very nicely, swept up nicely.
Scale at some point during the game,
but as I said, Martin Scale playing the left side of the centre back pair and did very good. And as you say, he started some good counter attacks as well. Downing had a decent game again, setting up an assist. You can't really fault that.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Do it.
Jose Enrique, he's starting to annoy me a little bit, the way he continues to try and go past men when there's no need, when he shoulders them off for no reason and turns the other way.
In what part of the pitch?
Every part of the pitch. It doesn't matter where he is, he's going to try it, and it's really starting to wick me off.
Well, I think,
and that's not to say that he had a good game.
From Jose Enrique, I thought he's had a few poor performances, Mike, and to me, I thought he got back to, regardless of what he does as in an attacking sense, defensively he got back to what he does best.
Yeah, I think defensively you can't fault him, but going forward, I think the best way to describe it sometimes is sloppy, because he takes his eye off the ball, or he'll let it run out of play, or overplaying, as Chris said, guilty. Instead of just playing a simple pass, it's alright, I'll go past him, I'll try and go past him again and again and again and again, and you just think, just lay it off and let's keep the ball moving.
Yeah. Well, we've got Stoke in the next round now at Anfield as well. We were awful against Stoke last time, and obviously we will do a preview show towards that effect. But obviously, this result, particularly in the FA Cup, Chris, is going to do us the world of good, surely, for just getting such a high scoring result regardless of the performance.
Well, that's it. I think the main thing, not the 6-1, the fact that Carroll and Suarez both scored. Suarez needed to get that monkey off his back, and Carroll really fucking... He actually... I thought that changed the game. The atmosphere in Anfield changed massively.
Hey, we got a chorus of Fields of Anfield Road in the upper centenary.
Bloody hell.
So it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. We couldn't hear you.
Well, no, I was the only one, in fairness. When I say chorus, I mean me. But no, it was. I think you've got to say 6-1. It was an efficient performance, if not a world-class, brilliant performance, Mike.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, 6-1 maybe on the reflection was a little bit harsh on Brighton, because I don't think they deserved to lose 6-1. But they're probably the victim of their own downfall. I mean, that was it. The 5th goal, where the guy was trying to do keepy-ups or whatever. His whole line. Just get rid of the ball, lad. You know, job done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stoke next round. The good thing about playing Stoke in a cup competition, as we proved in the Carling Cup, is they can't just come and park the bus. They've got to come and try and knock us out.
Yeah. At
some points, whether it's at the home game or in the replay, they've got to try and beat us. So, and that hopefully will play into our hands.
Certainly, I think that's the way we've got to look forward to. But on the whole, right, I'm going to ask you for your man of the matches, Chris.
Gerrard.
Mike.
Martin Scale.
I'm going to give it to Luis Suarez, because I think not necessarily that he had his greatest game in Liverpool's shirt, but you know what, he got on the score sheet, he worked hard, he ran the channels, he got involved, he linked up. So I'm going to give it to Luis Suarez. Sorry, we had a little interruption for the camera stopping there, in case you're wondering why there was no continuity between there and there. No, Luis Suarez is my man of the match. By all means, please let us know what your man of the match was. Let us know who you thought were these stars, and of course, because there'll be those out here who are the bitter heads, you stinkers as well, by all means. Obviously, we've got Stoke in the next round.
Just before we go, Paul, I'd like to make an apology. I put the Facebook comment asking for your thoughts this evening, and it was taken as being homophobic.
A slur, but you said obviously against the Brighton gay boys, and we've got to be perfectly clear on that it's not a homophobic slur in any way, shape or form. We apologise for anyone who's taken it that way. If you're at the match, it was a sort of retort to, they call us racist, so we say, oh well, you're Brighton, hey, you're gay, you know what I mean? And if you take that as offensive, I'm sorry, you know, if you're dead set against that being offensive, you're probably watching the wrong show and you've taken us the wrong way, because we're not that way inclined. But we will apologise, because you know, we're not going to have any handshaking incidents coming up over this, like, you know what I mean? But it's simple as, it was a joke, and obviously it's been taken the wrong way. If we offended anyone, we are dreadfully sorry. We've got no problem with gay people watching the show whatsoever. The only people we've got a problem with watching the show is basically Patrice Evra. So if you're watching Patrice,
you're a cunt.
Sorry mate, what are you going to say?
On a lighter note, there was a fella asleep by me in the car.
Really? And you said did they sing him a song?
Yeah, he's going to snore in a minute, I think.
He's going to snore in a minute. Brilliant. So there you go. Anyone who thinks that the cop is the part of the ground that gives it 110% every game, it's not exclusively true, is it? Like, you know what I mean? No. Brilliant. Thanks very much for watching the show. Thanks so much for joining me on a match reaction, Chris Bridger, and our special guest, the Axter.
Hopefully you'll have me back.
The underscore Axter.
The underscore Axter. So get on him on Twitter, because obviously you'll know he knows what he's talking about. He might have one dodgy eye, but he clearly knows what he's talking about. Great to have Chris on the match reactions. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll be back for our Brighton. No, not Brighton. I've just ruined it. Come so close to doing it very well. No, our Cardiff Cup final preview next week. We've got interviews from Steven Gerrard.
Cardiff Cup final.
I blame pints of Peroni. Amstel was 5, we moved to Peroni, it's game over. Carling Cup final, friggin' Chris, do you want to finish up, man?
Against Cardiff.
Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, Deep Maraman talking about their love for the Carling Cup final. That'll be on next week's show, so please do tune in. Before that, sign up for the website because it's good.
Yeah, and Tom could really,
month.
you know.
I can really enunciate, say my words. Thanks very much for joining us in the studio. Please, call me a dickhead. By all means. Thanks very much for watching, and good night. So.